So, and that leads to constant stress, anxiety, and fear of missing out.
FOMO. The
FOMO.
new
That's a new word.
new word.
Yeah.
Hello everyone. Welcome to Aram Mental Wellness Podcast Inside the Therapist Room. Today we have a special guest with us, Dr. Shilpa Jasubai. Ma'am is a senior clinical psychologist working in the field from last 20 years. She is doctorate in psychology and has been working with premier institutions like IIM Ahmedabad, NID, MICA, Zydus Hospital, and she has her private practice as well. Along with practice, she is also an independent researcher and has received many prestigious awards in the field of research. I'm very grateful to have you here, ma'am,
Thank
for
you so
a
much.
very important and a very trending topic. However, trending but not clear, which is around self love. So, ma'am, the first thing I would want to understand from you, your experience or in your words, how do we define self love?
So, when we hear a word self love, the first thing strikes in our mind is self care.
Hmm.
Am I taking care of myself? I remember my own self, as a kid, uh, we all experience that. But as a kid, I did not have that respect or love for my own self. And I always craved for, asking people or did everything possible for others at the cost of my health. So, what is self love? Self love is standing for yourself, respecting, being compassionate, nurturing your needs, your wants, basically accepting the kindness, compassion towards self rather than criticism.
Hmm. Hmm.
See, the best example standing for self is of Draupadi,
Yeah, interesting.
right?
Hmm.
In that game, she was there, she was humiliated in the court of Kauravas, right?
Hmm.
And where everybody stayed silent, including her husband, when she
Hmm.
was humiliated.
Hmm.
But to protect her own dignity, she questioned
Hmm.
that how can, when my husband has already lost,
Hmm.
how can he bet me afterwards?
Hmm.
So that shows that standing for self is self love.
Wow, that's a very different perspective to this
Yeah, so because
entire
one
thing.
aspect of self love is also standing,
Hmm.
protecting self,
Hmm. Hmm.
right? Respecting your own self.
Hmm.
But people take it as a self care
Hmm.
rather than, loving. Normally in all my years of practice, whenever anybody comes with anxiety or stress or not able to relationship issues, the first thing I ask is how much do you love yourself on the scale of 1 to 10?
Yeah.
Initially they say 10, 9,
Hmm.
8, then slowly I go deeper and then it comes down to
To the
3 or
real.
2.
Ha.
So,
Yeah.
that is what respecting, standing for yourself
Hmm.
is what self love is.
Yeah. If I, just pick some words from what you said, it just made me think how today people define self love is how you rightly mentioned self care is actually something brands use for their marketing, that go for a shopping spree, go for this
Yeah,
sale. This is self love and care. That is something you do. If you like doing for yourself, you go, that's okay. But then that's not only the form of self love or self care, it's very deeper. I have to love myself. I love myself even if I'm not this or that. No checklist or no check boxes
absolutely.
for myself. I am
Correct.
who I am and I love myself. Something on those lines.
Yeah, but we have list of criterias for our,
Hmm.
I only love myself if I behave like this. I only love myself if I have this,
Hmm.
right? Which leads to comparison.
Hmm. Yeah.
We go into comparison constantly, right? When you compare, it leads to dissatisfaction. It leads to demotivation, even emptiness,
Hmm. Hmm.
right? So, what can we do? It goes on the inner chatter because as a child, Lot of time, many of us are compared
Hmm.
by our parents
Hmm.
with either peers or friends' kids or
Hmm.
even classmates,
Hmm.
right? So, what happens there? That comparison, that sows the seed of that
Same.
I'm not good enough,
Yeah, I'm not worthy
I'm
enough.
not worthy enough,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
So, that negative inner voice stays with us as we grow.
Hmm.
And we start as in adulthood or in college, and that as we grow, we mainly focus on our flaws rather than our strength.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
Correct? So, and that leads to constant stress, anxiety, and fear of missing out.
FOMO, the
FOMO.
new
That's a new word.
new word.
Yeah. So, that leads to even when you are comparing and when you are in that fear of missing out,
Hmm.
what happens is at times you withdraw,
Hmm.
or at times to overcome that, you you put other people down,
Hmm.
and that
Yes.
leads to anxiety, stress, even strained relationship.
Hmm.
Lot of time I receive people coming to me. uh, they don't come that I'm comparing, they
Hmm.
come with the anxiety or stress, or not able to put the mind to rest.
Hmm.
There's constant thoughts, negative thoughts going on. So I'm not able to sleep, I'm not able to focus,
Hmm.
I'm not able to even build relationship or connect with people.
Hmm.
Correct? Because there is constant, your mind is addicted
Hmm.
to only focus on the faults that you don't, that I don't have this, I don't have this, I don't have this.
Hmm.
So instead of focusing on what you don't have,
Hmm.
we need to shift that focus
Hmm.
on being kind to ourselves,
Hmm.
being compassionate to yourself.
Hmm.
Because comparison will only lead to temporary, even if you compare and if you achieve something by comparing also, but it is a temporary pleasure,
Huh. It's never ending.
never ending.
Hmm.
It will not give you any satisfaction. It will, on the contrary, it will, your expectations will increase
Hmm.
as you go deeper and deeper and deeper, and that becomes your addiction, that becomes your loop.
Hmm.
You'll not it, then you'll have to go into like a de-addiction program.
Not
Actually, not like,
not the like
not
alcohol
not a
cigarette one.
substance
Got it.
de-addiction,
But
but mental de-addiction,
true. True.
by doing certain activities to
Hmm.
de-addict your constant, break the loop.
Yeah. But ma'am, honestly, and I'll be very honest here, being um, in this age, what I feel, or at least that's something that bothers me, is what happens is this constant comparison or achieving one standard after another is actually reinforced a lot by the society, and hence it becomes very difficult to keep yourself out of that rat race. So it is sometimes I honestly observe myself, like I know that okay, I'm also being a part of this rat race, this game of numbers, that these many followers, these many patients, this much achievement, this much money, or these many possessions. Okay, I know that this is not the purpose of my life, but then this is so socially you know appropriate or reinforced, it becomes very difficult to then pull yourself back from that rat race.
So there's one thing that I'll tell you. When
Haha.
you talk about rat race, always remember, when rat is chasing the reward,
Hmm.
when constantly chasing, at the
Hmm.
end, the rat may receive the reward and be happy. But at the end of the race, the rat remains a rat only.
Ouch. Yeah.
Correct?
True. True. True.
So if you remember this, it will, you will
Hmm.
pause.
Hmm.
The pause is very important in life,
Hmm.
for emotional well-being.
Hmm.
Because in the rat race, we achieve once. Are you actually celebrating your achievement?
Hmm.
When you achieve one step, you achieve. Then you, at that moment, you are dissatisfied.
Hmm.
I can do better.
Hmm.
Then you run after that. It's
Yeah.
a constant thing, but you are not enjoying the moment of your achievement.
Hmm.
You're missing out that.
Hmm.
Then we end up in FOMO.
Yeah. True. True. Missed out that moment, and
Yeah, I
there's
didn't do something. When you see somebody who is loving self and who is respecting self and enjoying the having the pleasure and enjoying that moment of achievement,
Hmm.
then you realize, then you go into FOMO, then you go
Hmm.
into self criticism.
Hmm.
So it's a loop, like you rightly
Yeah.
said. It just goes on and on and on. And
Hmm.
you are right about, like, because we have so much pressure from the society,
Hmm.
and that is how the trend is right now.
Hmm.
Most of the people are living in the comparison
Hmm. Yeah.
and forgetting that they also have identity.
Hmm.
Small children,
Hmm.
because they've been told by their parents that, look at that, look at that,
Hmm.
see him doing better. So that habit of comparison is engraved from the childhood.
Yeah. So many. I mean, childhood
Yeah,
as
parents
psychologists.
don't have a bad intention.
Huh.
They compare us to tell us that you can do it.
Better.
Correct?
Huh.
Better. But as a child, we take it as a habit. Like,
Hmm.
because I'm not good enough, my parent compared.
Hmm.
And so slowly, that negative thinking of
Hmm.
inner voice
Hmm. Hmm.
stays, and then it grows.
Bilkul, bilkul. So many people I see say the diagnosis may be anything, be it depression, anxiety, OCD.
Anything.
Symptoms is a different part. But then if when we go down deeper into the negative automatic thought, then we dig deeper in the core belief part. So the core belief is this: I'm not good enough. And where is
And
it
it
coming
comes to
from?
low self esteem.
Exactly. Which can create, I mean, which can invite
Yeah,
any disorder possible on this earth, be it physical, be it mental.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Ha.
Physical also, they have so many somatizers.
Hmm. Hmm.
Like people, I remember one child came to me
Mhm.
who had severe stomach issues, but all the doctors diagnosis, CT scan, MRI, everything came
Clear.
normal.
Hmm.
When I was called, it turned out that she was constantly living in the fear,
Hmm.
and the core was belief, I'm
Hmm.
not good enough.
Yeah.
And that fear and that not good enough was somatized as, because she didn't want to
Ha.
face it,
Hmm.
it was she was having stomach issues,
Ha. It
severe
easily
stomach
gets
pain.
converted in physical
Yeah,
symptoms. True. True. Yeah. It's it's something, as you rightly said. It is not that parents have this intention, but it happens. Or again, this is also something so normal in the culture that people don't realize. For example, I'm seeing this girl right now, 20-year-old girl. She mentioned she's always been very good in academics, but she hates studying now, and she likes studying the subject, but she doesn't like studying for exam. So when we were discussing, when we were understanding the pattern, it came out to be that throughout her childhood, every time she would score 90, the parents would be like 95 क्यों नहीं आया, अच्छा 95 आए, 97 क्यों नहीं आए, फर्स्ट रैंक अगर आया, तो let's say even if she is scoring first rank in the entire school, and the parents are saying, but oh, in this one particular subject somebody else scored highest. So then for
yeah.
her, then it was like, whatever I do, I'm not good enough. Even if I'll do anything to prove myself, I'm still not good enough. And it's not just marks, it's also about, that if as a woman, I'm good with my household chores or my child, but I'm not, let's say, smart enough for English speaking, then also, okay, ye do acha hai, but you're not doing this. So with that
Yeah.
comes, I mean, people have then these beliefs that, okay, I'm not good enough.
And to add to that,
Hmm.
that belief, that can go to extent of constantly need for validation.
Hmm. Yeah.
That I need to, like,
Hmm.
because when a child is receiving the love on the conditional love, like,
Hmm.
at times or not at times,
Hmm.
based on the behavior,
Hmm.
based, so like you rightly said, when she got good marks, even after that also they were not happy, they were
Hmm.
not satisfied. So to prove worthy of her, she had to perform more and more and more,
Right. Right.
validate her
Hmm.
worthiness constantly.
Hmm.
Even I have seen a lot of students coming to me because to connect with people, to
Hmm.
get accepted from the, be part of the group or for the
Hmm.
validation, it goes long way. In
Ah.
earlier days, they had to go for the validation and all just to for the survival,
Hmm. Hmm.
right? To be part of that, and they had to do
Huh.
that. But here also in the culture, like in the college culture, I've
Hmm.
seen that people are facing that. They have are finding it difficult to connect with people,
Hmm. Hmm.
and they go out of their way to prove their self
Yeah.
worthiness. They
Yeah.
do certain things. They end up in bad relationship, abusive relationship,
Hmm. Hmm.
just to get feel that they are worthy enough.
Yes.
This
From
is a
someone
this
else.
yeah,
Huh.
that I can get love, but that is not love.
Hmm. That's again a
I'm
conditional love.
lovable. See,
Huh.
that's I'm
Huh.
lovable. Correct? But in that, they are getting into multiple relationships,
Hmm.
abusive
Hmm.
relationships,
Hmm. Hmm.
because they are getting that few minutes of attention
Yeah.
when they are not themselves loving.
Hmm.
They are looking it outside.
True. True. When there is lack of self love, then comes people
People
pleasing,
please. Yeah,
reassurance seeking from people, seeking validation, or crossing your boundaries, or rather not having boundaries
not
and
having boundaries.
overdoing everything for
Exactly.
people, as you said, just to get that attention,
Yeah.
temporary attention.
Just to get 1 minute, few seconds of attention from
Hmm.
somebody, like in her mind, it is love.
Hmm. Hmm.
For
Ah,
somebody, for other person, it may not be.
yeah. So when you say no, you used a very nice word that in her or his mind it is love. If you can, throw some light also on how do we distinguish that what form of activities or acts can be considered as self love versus some activities which are merely self indulgent. So as we briefly discussed earlier that how people have been considering these days spas or shopping or retail therapy to be self love. So how can one distinguish between these two?
For example, like we talked
Hmm.
about people going in a shopping spree, or
Hmm.
going on the travel spree, like
Hmm.
constantly traveling. What are they doing actually?
Hmm.
They're just keeping themselves so busy,
Hmm.
even doing self care activities like
Hmm.
gymming, doing meditation, doing yoga, writing journals,
Hmm.
all of this. Self care is also equally good.
Hmm.
I mean,
Hmm.
it's not bad,
Yeah, of
like,
course.
taking care, eating healthy food.
Hmm.
But in all of that, what are they doing?
Hmm.
They're constantly keeping themselves busy
Hmm.
because they don't want to face that which makes them uncomfortable to experience that emotion.
Hmm.
They don't want to be with themselves because it is an uncomfortable situation.
Hmm. Right.
Whenever any client comes, I ask them that how often do you just be with yourself?
Hmm.
I don't need to be with myself.
Hmm. Why are you asking
Why?
this?
Yeah, why do I mean, I go to gym, I'm with myself. I go to spa, I'm with myself. I said, without doing anything.
Hmm.
How many, like, when you look at yourself in the mirror, what are the thoughts?
Hmm.
I scan my body.
Hmm.
So that means first thing is you are judging and criticizing.
Hmm.
Then they get shocked, like, when you
Huh.
ask them that. And most of the people, like, when I give them affirmation,
Hmm.
like, I love and accept myself deeply and completely.
Hmm.
Most of them are very uncomfortable saying that to
Saying that.
themselves.
Huh.
That
Hmm.
I can't look at myself in the mirror.
Hmm. Yeah. True.
It's uncomfortable.
Hmm.
I said, it's okay. Even if you're uncomfortable, even if you feel like it's silly, laugh.
Hmm.
Even if you want to cry,
Hmm.
but you do it.
Hmm.
Because what happens is when our brain hears repeatedly
Hmm.
that statement over a period of at least minimum 21 days or a month, it starts creating a new neural pathway,
True.
right? Because as a child we've heard something, so that created certain pattern, certain
For
neural
years.
pathway. So we need to restructure those neural pathway, recreate those things. So we have to keep repeating. Our brain has to keep hearing those words.
Exactly. And the fact that it is difficult to, as you said, looking in your own eyes and saying that if that is difficult, that itself is a sign that okay, I need to check whether I genuinely love myself or not.
Yeah. So whenever you are doing all these things, like, when you're not able to, like when you're on a shopping spree, what will happen? You are on a shopping spree. At the end, you will go into guilt. Oh, I spent so much. I don't need this. I should not have bought this. I should not have spent so much on traveling. Now I have to look into my funds. So it is always creating stress or regret or even guilt. You're not actually happy. Even after doing all these things.
For happiness.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, you're not happy. Instead, you just decide, like, I'll promise myself to at least for an hour, I'll use kind words to my own self. Because research says that we have about 90,000 of thoughts in a day, and 80% of thoughts are negative, and 90% are repetitive, right?
Yeah.
So you can understand how our brain is built.
So at least choosing an hour differently.
Exactly. You are creating some window of to get into the habit of self-love.
Yeah. So, if I just translate it in a way, let's say if I'm going for a shopping spree, spa, or eating out, or for a movie, that definitely can be an act of self-love if it is not, backed up by a lot of shoulds and musts, or
Even comparison, because
हाँ,
that person has it,
because
I have to
everybody is
have.
going. I'll open Instagram and I see
Yeah.
everybody's posts, so might as well go. So no, if I'm just going and being myself there, genuinely enjoying it, fair. But if it is this, as you said, कि shopping करके आ गए, but आने के बाद again it's going to be
In a
कि guilt or
मुझे इतना नहीं खर्च करना
Yeah.
चाहिए.
or also now what? It's like I've
Yeah.
done one thing to achieve happiness. Now again I'm clueless what to do for happiness. So then probably it is not self-love. It is just another rat race or another kind of
I
problematic
mean, there
loop.
again is a comparison,
Huh.
because you are constantly watching on a social media,
Huh.
and that again adds to your stress, and that also creates a lot of pressure on you.
Huh. And even if, like, when we ask people, no, when I recently am seeing a young client, 22-year-old, and when I asked him, when he mentioned about this comparison, this that, and I asked him about the social media usage, like, no, it's hardly half an hour a day, which is chalo fair. I mean, if I literally see the amount, comparing it with other people, okay, chalo fair. What thoughts do you have while you are seeing that? Nothing, no comparison. But then when I asked him to write it down, and he could come up with the same this thing, that see, that person is going to travel, that person is receiving an award, my friend started his own company, my friend's wife is doing this and mine is not doing this, things like that. So it is very difficult to see it but not compare or have
Because
this thought.
they are not acknowledging it. They're not understanding
Huh.
it. I had a client, she got so addicted to constantly watching social media and comparing herself in her mind, comparing with the friends or comparing on social media. She think that they had perfect life in her mind, okay? And it became so much addiction that she started having panic attacks, actually, anxiety attacks.
Yeah.
And one day she needed to be hospitalized. So it can harm us
It is.
if you are not mindful about it.
That's the right word, mindful.
So whatever you're doing, even you're thinking, even if you're eating, even if you're breathing, it should be mindful. Like, when you breathe mindfully, when you focus on your breathing, vagus nerves get activated, and that reduces the activity of the sympathetic nervous system. So
Hmm.
when you activate the parasympathetic nervous system, the cortisol level goes down.
Decreases.
So you become little calm. And
Hmm.
when you become calm, you will be able to respond rather than react to
Hmm.
your own self.
Hmm. Hmm.
So that is very important, to be mindful of things
Hmm.
and learn to be mindful.
Hmm.
So you will not go into constant criticism, judging, even comparison.
Hmm.
You will be able to create the boundaries.
Hmm.
Boundaries are extremely important
Hmm.
because that also cultivates self love.
Yes. Boundaries, if you can elaborate on that, because again, people confuse the word boundaries as something which is, too Western or too selfish.
Yeah.
So,
So because, like, if you're, like you rightly said, so when, as a growing up,
hmm.
we've heard that if you think about self or self care or self, it is considered as a selfish. You can't think
Hmm.
of self, especially for Indian women.
Hmm.
We face it a lot. No,
Yeah.
women can't give importance to themselves.
Hmm.
That is too selfish.
Hmm.
But in that, woman also loses the self.
Hmm.
Woman has a right to care for self, to love herself. So communicating
Hmm.
your needs is showing boundaries.
Yes.
So even in a relationship or even in day to day life, when you create certain boundaries, you communicate that these are the things I can do and I need to do. What happens is, when you don't communicate your
Hmm.
needs and your wants and your desires, you go into resentment,
Hmm.
and that again leads to a lot of anxiety, stress. You develop symptoms, bodily symptoms also.
Ha. Yeah.
So you need to communicate, you need to create that boundary for your
Hmm.
own self,
Hmm. Hmm.
rather than getting drained, in emotionally drained. You
Hmm.
have to realize what is that create draining me.
Yeah. And
So let's,
hmm.
for your example, I'm
Hmm.
asking you, take a moment,
Hmm.
just scan your life,
Hmm.
and where is it that I am saying yes,
Hmm.
where my heart is saying no.
Hmm. Hmm.
So instead of saying yes for
Hmm.
your own self, if you learn to say no,
Hmm.
you will create much.
Hmm. Yeah. True. And somewhere, the beauty of creating boundaries,
Yeah,
at least for myself, what.
it creates
Hmm.
respect,
Ha.
mutual respect, when you
Exactly.
vocalize your
Hmm.
needs and your
Hmm.
you create that boundary. It strengthens your
The
relation, not
relationship.
break your
Because
relation.
otherwise what can happen is, when lot of times people glamorize these sacrifices, the case that you were mentioning, that wow, she offers lunch to everybody every weekend. If she likes doing it, fair enough. If she doesn't and she's
That's what
doing
I
it,
said. You
what,
have to ask
ha,
yourself.
self, what do you like? And
Yeah,
what happens is, people feel that this is, I mean, let's say if she creates this boundary, it will be helpful for her, but I feel it will deep down be helpful for everybody.
everybody.
Because if she is saying yes and doing things the way everybody is expecting her to do, that resentment will show in some other ways, indirectly taunting people, passive aggressive, or sometimes
Yeah,
being passive, or then taking an entire 3 day physical health break, that now I'm very feverish, or there is stomach, again somatizing of
traumatization.
symptoms. So ultimately it can break relationship, or her physical mental health, or others mental health. So ma'am, I think listening to this will make it clear for everybody that why is self love so important, and what do we consider as self love. If we were to just quickly discuss the practical tips, if somebody is a beginner in this journey of self love, so how can they start?
See, basically, loving self is the most difficult part. If you have to love somebody else, it comes very easy.
Hmm.
But when it comes to loving self, it's very difficult.
Hmm.
So I've created this pause framework, you know,
Pause.
PAUSE.
Okay.
So let's see what P stands for. Take a pause. Slowly inhale with the count of 4 and gently exhale. So when you pause, the 60-second of pause will shift your mind from criticism or
Hmm.
judgment to being kind to yourself. So this is the first step. Pause. Then comes acknowledge.
Hmm.
What are the feelings that is going on?
Hmm.
I'm feeling anxious, I'm feeling stressed, or I'm feeling sad, I'm feeling angry.
Hmm.
Scan your body. Where is the tension? Where is the uncomfortable feeling happening?
Hmm.
Then comes you.
Hmm.
Understand.
Hmm.
Before even saying why am I feeling this? Why am I not able to handle it like other people? Going into criticism, comparison, ask yourself, what is it that I need at this moment?
Hmm.
When I'm feeling this, when
Hmm.
I'm feeling angry, what is it that I need? What is my anger telling me?
Hmm.
Understand that. The moment you understand, you'll be able to handle it.
Hmm.
You'll be able to respond to your anger rather than reacting
React
to your
to.
anger,
Hmm.
right? Then comes S,
Hmm.
self care,
Hmm.
right? S stands for self care. Do some things, anything that, like, a small thing like going a mindful walk or mindful
Hmm.
breathing, or enjoying something that really makes you happy,
Hmm.
developing any hobby, listening to
Huh.
music.
Hmm.
That is basically self care, is doing something for your
Hmm.
caring for yourself,
Hmm.
or
Hmm.
which gives you positive energy,
Hmm. Hmm.
right?
Right.
Then comes E,
Hmm.
execute.
Execute all of it.
Execute all of it,
Hmm.
and basically decide to be kind to yourself.
Hmm.
What do you
Hmm.
mean by kind to myself? When I am doing self talk, when I am talking to
Hmm.
myself, I will use kind words.
Hmm.
I'll be compassionate with myself.
Yeah.
So that is kind of showing, executing
The.
what
Hmm.
you, the whole thing.
Hmm.
By doing regularly like this,
Hmm.
you will slowly start developing the self love,
Hmm.
self respect,
Hmm.
and you will be able to enhance your self esteem.
Wow. So I think our listeners can take this. Please, keep this acronym PAUSE, PAUSE. Put it on your places
Yeah.
like in front of your
Because
desk,
see, we
and
forget when the
we
rat
forget.
race, as we talked,
Hmm.
and constantly doing things, constantly trying to achieve, compare, judge, we forget to pause.
Hmm.
And when we pause, we learn to respond to our own emotions, our own
Hmm.
needs,
Hmm.
rather than react.
Hmm. So it's like we've covered a whole spectrum of
Yeah.
self-care to self-love to actually developing emotional resilience. It's like an emotional immunity,
Yeah.
so that even in ups and downs that may be there in the life, but these things can always hold you. These things can always help you keep growing.
Yes.
Mhm.
Lastly,
Mhm.
just to take away, I would like to add is, always remember self love is a journey, it's not a destination.
Hmm.
So you have to keep developing self love,
Hmm.
and by doing small act, you're shifting from criticism, judgment to kindness,
Hmm.
compassion.
Hmm.
So just remember that you are always in a journey of
Hmm.
developing self love.
So I think I'm still processing a lot because honestly, being a 30-year-old therapist, having said all of these things to my own clients, I know that where I need to work for myself as well, lot of theoretical knowledge or a lot of good things that I say. However, you coming and bringing this energy and sharing a lot of practical thing really made me also think that okay, where can this be added, and I'm really hoping the same for the listeners, that you can take some practical tips and some reflective questions for yourself. So thank you so much, ma'am, for coming. It did not seem that we are meeting after almost a decade. It just, I mean, I was telling her, I was thoda sa, that okay, she's a very senior person, it may be little awkward for me, I'm meeting her after a decade, but it was really natural and fun to talk to you. Thank you for accepting the invitation and coming. And thank you, everybody, for staying tuned, listening to us. Please check out other podcasts that we have put on the channel, and do drop your comments, questions for us.
Thank you so much for inviting. It was a pleasure interacting with you.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.